guide this tired street. Potholes dance beneath our feet. Promises fall like broken glass. The future hides behind the past. Is it the end, or just the bend? Will we rise, or let it end? Through the crime and through the haze, can we find brighter days? Trains don't run the way they should. Ports stand silent where they once stood. A nation's heart beats slow and low, fingers pointing where the blame should go. Is it the end, or just the bend? Will we rise, or let it end? Through the crime and through the haze, can we find brighter days? Chaos sings in whispered tones. Streets of silence cast their stones. Promises empty like open skies, but hope survives where truth lies. Is it the end, or just the bend? Will we rise, or let it end? Through the crime and through the haze, can we find brighter days? When walls talk back and windows cry, boundaries drawn under heavy skies. In the space between the set and scene lies a story that cuts unclean. Hold the ties that thread and tangle tight. Diplomatic dances in the cold moonlight. A step misplaced and the stage does sway. Persona non grata carried far away. Persona non grata carried far away.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Well, that's an epic fail. That's an epic fail. Welcome back to the program, folks. Thought I caught that. I didn't turn off that screen. Welcome back. It's a blast from the past. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The blast from the past is me and everyone here in the United States. It's still Thursday, the 10th of April, 2025. I know many of viewers in Europe, Africa, and points further east. It's already tomorrow. What's it like on that side of the world? Hey, by the way, check out my tulips, man. They are looking quite lovely there. Look at that. Open it up, quite robust. Beautiful little things, huh? Yeah. Check them out. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at that. Lovely tulips. And we got the yellow ones on the other side. There you go. Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen from the past. WKRP in Cincinnati. It's Les Nussman. Oh my goodness. WKRP in Cincinnati. Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP. Oh, it was a show on this day, man. Oh, what a show that was. Yeah. Got tired of drumming. Anyway, welcome to the program. Let me say hello to everybody here. We get started. My terrible singing aside. Hendo is here, extraordinaire, moderator extraordinaire. Hendo, how's it going, man? Jack says, good evening. I'm off to bed. Okay, up early from milking cows. I know what that's like. Kind of cold in Minnesota. Minnesota, yeah. No, for sure, Jacob. I didn't know you're in Minnesota, man. We could have talked about this, you know. So, did you see the little fella? He was sleeping with the blonde girl, you know. Yeah, she got some. No, I'm talking about nice, the blonde girl. No, for sure, no. I didn't go near because they was eating lutefisk, and that smells quite nasty. No, not my cup of tea, that lutefisk. I can't be standing that stuff. I do have a coffee in the morning, though. Before I get out to the cows. The cows, for sure, yeah. You know, we had some Canadians come over today. They were lovely. They were telling us all about everything up there in Canada. It was quite nice, I'm telling you. Yeah, no, it's nice. No, they brought this fella Red Green over. You know, he's quite interesting. He came along with this fella named Graham Green. I was very confused. Which one he was green? One he was green with an E, one he was green without an E. Hey, I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, let's see. All right, Jack, I didn't know you were in Minnesota. Gideon Maloney, welcome to you. Thomas Holmes, Dougie Raymond, Elizabeth Kriga, welcome to you. Nod Small, MCM. Every time I see MCM, I think of the record company. Wasn't there a record company, MCM, back in the day? Anyway, there's MGM Studios, but MCM makes me think of that. Jarethra, hello, welcome to you. Boy, my eyes are slightly off here. I was going to try to go without the specs, but there we go. Put those on. Okay, wow, that's different. Now I can see clearly there. I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. Well, okay, the synapses are firing probably tonight. I can remember the lyrics of some of these songs. Stella Ford Bushfeld, Bot, welcome to you. Mandy van Rooyen, hello, Reg Dodd. And who else we got here? 2 cups of coffee every morning. Ooh, that's rough. See the Hamas case legal bid to be removed from the terrorist list this week in London. Cite the ANC. They cite the ANC for what? Martin, welcome. George Steinberg in from Heckport. How's it going there, man? Okay. Loretta's here. Miranda Duplessis. Oh, that's right. We forgot to greet all the Neanderthals, all the canines, and, of course, your host, your fellow right-wing podcaster. Who's that? Where's the right-wing podcaster? Not me, man. No, not a right-wing podcaster. Just an independent voice. Miranda Duplessis. Inkwell Odyssey's back. The real Wesley Smith, please stand up. Please stand up. Like the real Slim Shady there. All right. Tony, and welcome back to you. Syncmaster 99. Michael Cloty, welcome. Charles Fidonson, the voice of reason, is here. Best day of the week. Let's make it an awesome one. Yeah, it's a friends and family only Friday. What will Donald Trump do to South Africa today? Or for South Africa? He cut him some serious slack yesterday, letting them stay in the program, reducing their tariffs from 31 or 30 down to just 10% for many items when they didn't deserve it. Nico Augustin, welcome to you. Rebecca, hello. Jean Spice. Teresias Opperman. Arctic is here. Debaram. Marius Venter. Arne Tinnison. Kay's Garden. Adrian Street. I tell you, folks, you got some really clever usernames here sometimes. Stella 4, Johan Oberholzer, Mahalisburg. I love me some Mahalisburg, man. Great place. The cradle of humankind. Yeah, man, there have been hominids living there for a long time. That's all you Europeans, all you Bantus, you can footsec. You tell you what, you Koyan-san, you can footsec also. None of y'all belong there, man. That place belongs to Homina Lady. That is the land of Homina Lady and many other hominids. Hominids been there for a very long time. Too early to be healthy. I don't know if that's true. You could be too sexy for your cat. I don't know if it's too early to be healthy. I'm too sexy for my cat. Well, my cat has passed away, so I'm definitely too sexy for my cat because he's long since gone. You must have a great weekend since you'll be traveling. Yeah, I've got a project this weekend I'm working on, so yep. Try to tell you about it on Sunday if I wrap it up. If not, it'll be Monday. Yeah, Jokin, I don't know who gifted you. Might have been Van. Van gives like 1 million memberships away. Very generous. Vanessa, Chris Ehlers. Okay, who else got there? Mau Mau. Shows Defendamava. Show some love. Hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like. We got 100 likes, 234 people currently. Sloth Puppy's back. Good to see you again. Kalpana Sony. Hey, how about you guys that have been OGs like Sloth Puppy and then you disappeared for a long time, only to come back and you still claim credit for being one of the original viewers in the program? How cool is that? Yeah, I was here's you and nobody ever heard of Chris. Welcome back. Timothy Coopertis, welcome to you. Julie E. Light Rain in from the West Coast. Boy, Light Rain is a dedicated viewer. I'm telling you, man. Been with us a long time. Twinette Maxted. Interesting name there. Love the song. Yeah, well, I love all those songs. And Arctic says it's stuck in his head. Must be talking about the the diplomatic dance there. Yeah, by the time we get there, Chris will be releasing his first album. Actually, I will be releasing an album, folks. Yeah, I'm putting it all together now. It's funny you should mention that. I'm putting all the songs together. I'm going to put them in an album. Exactly. I'm also thinking of if I travel, if I go somewhere where I'll see viewers, I'm going to do Tom McDonald's song. We'll do the can't cancel, all of us standing here side by side. It'll be awesome, man. Anyway, happy friends and family only Friday. Exactly, Ronell. How's it going there? Izzy Forever Lace and Chrome. Welcome to you. I'm not sure how Lace and Chrome go together. It's going to be a good day because I'm starting off my day with Colonel. Why not? Ooh, that's pretty good. Sloth Puppy, I like that. Why not? Love the song, says Louie. Okay, cool beans. Don't let them cancel you, buddy. No kidding. Yeah, well, they're not going to cancel Tom. There's no way. Skulk Bodenhorse, welcome to you. Trish Clements, hello, hello, hello. My son listening to this song with me said, Mom, let's go to America. Well, I enjoy it. The cameos are incredible there. Really cool. Really cool. I mean, you don't even know all the names, but you know a lot of them because a lot of them are YouTube influencers. But I didn't make it. Not that big. All right. I got most of those people never got canceled. That's why they're big and famous. They didn't get canceled. I got canceled. Yep, by the poo tube. It's Friday, Brybrookey Day. Ooh, do we have to do Brybrookey's? Do I have that here? I wonder. Do I have Brybrookey's? Yeah. Come on. Where are you? Oh, I thought I had it there, man. I thought I downloaded the Brybrookey song. Maybe it's over here. Let me see. Brybrookey's. There it is. Ooh, we have it. There it is. Oh, no, that's a picture. That's not the song. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Brybrookey. Zian Simon. Well, we'll be getting her on the program again sometime, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Well, let me get that off. Got the wrong screen on there. Give me a second here. Okay, discombobulate here. There we go. Whoa, whoa. I'm seeing double there. A little too much pink elephant going on there. Brybruki, no onions, please. No onions, no onions, no onions, no onions. Brybruki will even get eaten for breakfast by the real passionate Brybruki lovers. Yeah, yeah, they will. There you go, folks. There you go. Ziana Simon, you can check her out. She's online. She's got a new song dropping on April 18th, ladies and gentlemen. She's dropping a new song on April 18th. Looking forward to that. She's put a little hint out there what the song is. It looks like it might be interesting. Now it's going to be stuck in your head for the next few hours. That's the idea. It's an earworm. Burrows its way in there. Sits in your brain, bounces around. Next thing you know, you can't cancel all of us. Tanya says, no onions, not a Brybruki. I don't care. I don't eat onions. Brybruki. All right. After Brybruki on Saturday morning breakfast, especially with some potato salad. Oh, I don't eat potato salad either. See, I can't be a boor. I can't be a boor, man. I don't eat that stuff. I can't eat those onions. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, you're killing me with the onions, man. I'm sorry. Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, poor dude dropped his fire. Couldn't get it going. Couldn't get the fire lit. It's not stuck in Arctic's head. Oh, don't lie, man. We know. Folks, I can picture this right now. So, let's see. What's tower we're going to call it to? MDT. That's Harrisburg. MDT. This is Delta 375. Delta 375 on approach. 3,700 feet. Yeah, hang on a second. I got to put my drink down. Delta 375, are you drinking while flying? You're damn right. That's a fact, Jack. It's okay. The plane's on autopilot. South African Farm Girl. This song is no ekani. Wait. You're laughing? Is that what you? Is that why? No ekani. South African Farm Girl. Oh, what are you a South African Farm Girl? Are you a Burmese or not? Just be honest. Don't say South African Farm Girl. Either you're Burmese or not. Sarah Skuman, welcome to you. Copy's here. Hey, Copy, how you doing, man? Anthony, Matthew, Fun Black, good morning to you. Brybrukies, there you go. Hey, Army's back. How's it going tonight, man? Is your mom all right tonight? Okay. Brybruki's the only time that 1440 eats onion. Well, there you go. No, gem squash. True. Obviously, you guys have preferred varieties of wood to braai. It will be interesting. Hey, you know what my favorite type of wood to barbecue with is? Mesquite. Oh, that's some good stuff, man. That's javelinas. Put some mesquite out there. Cook those javelinas. Ooh, in Arizona. I'm loving it. She says, "Ite night." What do you mean, Ite night? Delta. No, thanks. I only fly illegals. 375 Delta. Tower, this is. Oh my goodness, folks. Did anybody see the footage of that horrific that rapid disassembly and the loss of that Spanish family in Manhattan on the Hudson River? What a bizarre situation. I have flown it hundreds of hours in helicopters. I've never in my wildest imagination ever expected something like that to happen. Not even from a helicopter hit by ammunition or hit by, small arms or, the rotor being torn off. I've never seen anything like that. That is horrible. What a sad, sad situation, man. Oh, you're through and through a Burmese. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. Cool. Yeah, it's terrible, Copy. It was unbelievable. Really sad. That's heartbreaking, man. Those folks didn't stand a chance. Oh, she's sleeping, hanging there. Okay, thanks, Army. Cool. Tanya De Jong. No, I am in shy because my wife hates onions too. Huh? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, you're in the crap. Oh, you're using your account and you're in the crap. Thomas Dawson. It was terrible. Yeah. I haven't seen anything like that. No, yeah, it's been ages already. That's, even in combat, you don't see that sort of thing. That was crazy. Yeah. Bell 206, I think was the model. Yeah. Pretty common. This guy's Manhattan. Yeah. Yeah. Can't even imagine the seconds before the crash. Pure fear. It must, well, I mean, Michael, the only saving grace is obviously that happened pretty fast. You watch it just a few moments. Well, yeah, they've already pulled part of the wreckage out. I mean, the wreckage is just mangled. It's horrible. Potato salad's a must-now salad. Well, so sweet tea. I'll drink the sweet tea. You can have the potato salad. My goodness, yeah, that's yeah. It's somebody said that that gentleman was it Siemens in Spain, the German company, but the head of it in Spain. Let me find this. This is just really scary stuff. I think I've got some information on this thing. I didn't look on Twitter, but I got it from, yeah, here it is. Yeah. So New York Times, of course, would have coverage on it. So, yeah. Arctic isn't 21, Chantel. Arctic isn't even close to 21. I've met Arctic. I've hung out with Arctic. Not even close to 21. Don't believe him for a heartbeat there. Breibrukis. We will make you Breibrukis without onions and cut the corner. Oh, that's very nice, Myrna. Now you got my attention. Now you got my attention. No, you cannot auto-rotate if there are no rotors. Yeah, that's just, oof. Well, auto-rotate is a dicey game to begin with. Well, in fact, when I was at Grafenwehr, we had a Cobra that had a main engine failure. There's only one engine on that thing, so just it gave out. And but fortunately, it was when they're lifting off. They were just a couple hundred feet off the ground when main engine cut out, and they rotated. Man, those guys hit the ground hard. The damage to that aircraft was bad. I mean, it's just, I can only imagine. So, but they were all fine. The guy on the helicopter was fine. But man, oh man, wow. Transmission gearbox seized and caused the tail boom to bend. And that kind of makes sense, Sean. I haven't seen any analysis, but that kind of makes sense. But wow. Yeah, no, it's not Tanya. It's the Hutful bikers using Tanya's account. No main rating, you're basically a brick. Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. And that brick flipped over and over because the momentum sent him careening. Man, tail separation at the main rotor blades, the main half were half. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's, well, let's look at the news story here and talk about that, folks. We're going to talk to South Africa as well. Good morning to those in South Africa and around the world, in Europe, points farther east. And good evening to the folks here on the East Coast of the United States. It's nearly tomorrow. We're just moments away from tomorrow, 23:59, 21 degrees here in the studio on the 10th of April, soon to be the 11th of April, Friday the 11th. Tax season is here. If you haven't filed your taxes in the United States, you're running out of time. So you either better get it done by the 15th or you'd better get yourself an extension filed. Yep. Even if you don't owe taxes, they're due on the 15th. Yep. No breaks this year because the 15th doesn't fall on a weekend. It's Tuesday. You've got to get it done. And we're nearly there, nearly midnight. Well, my computer says it's midnight. My clock behind, which tends to run a little bit behind, says I'm still in the past. And there it is. Welcome to tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Tomorrowland, Tomorrow World. Breibrukien Boerwus, and I'm there, says Mr. QB. Yep. Thank you, Xavier. Good morning. Good morning, South Africa. Yay. Hochhand dit South Africa. Ek is gatvol van de ANC. I'm correct. I am as young as the woman I feel. Oh, my goodness. Stop it, Arctic. Helicopter accident happened near my workplace. The drama around there. Oh, I'm sure. Face, I didn't know you were over that way, man. How's it going, brother? Man, I didn't know that. You're near the Hudson. Spent a lot of time traveling up and down and across that body of water over the years. Yeah, let's go ahead and get to this story here, folks. So, helicopter crash, 5 tourists and pilot killed when helicopter crashes into the Hudson River. Augustine Escobar, a Siemens. Okay, Siemens. Oh, there you go. He's with Siemens. Executive from Spain was sightseeing with his family when the helicopter crashed, killing everyone aboard, senior law enforcement officials say. Witnesses report hearing a loud noise and then seeing the helicopter drop. And there, as you can see, the skids right there. The helicopter crashed in the Hudson River near Jersey City, killing all 6 people on board. Augustine Escobar, the chief executive for rail infrastructure for the technology company Siemens, which is a German company, his 3 children and his wife were pulled from the helicopter or the Frigga River, but none survived. That's horrible. Another official confirmed that the Siemens executive's family had been killed. The pilot was also killed. Helicopter went down near a ventilation building above the Holland Tunnel across the river from the West Village at 3:15 this afternoon. What we know, witnesses and video accounts of the crash show the helicopter tumbling and hitting the water at high speed. A rotor flew off and the craft nosedived into the water, sending debris flying toward the boat. Helicopter and its operator was a Bell 206 operated by New York Helicopter, which runs sightseeing tours for several $100 a flight. The helicopter, the aircraft was leased from a company in Louisiana. Appeared to have taken off from downtown Manhattan Heliport, circled near the Statue of Liberty, flew north to the George Washington Bridge, and then was heading back south just off New Jersey shoreline when it crashed. Cause of the crash is unknown. There you go, Bell 206 helicopter. It's been in use for decades. Its maker is Bell Textron, based in Texas. Took it out of production less than 10 years ago with upkeep. The model is seen as safe and reliable. Here's the flight path. You can see the downtown Manhattan heliport. Went down around the Statue of Liberty and flew back up the Hudson on the east side, on the Manhattan side, and came down the Jersey side. Was nearly back, most of the way back when this happened. This helicopter had prior mechanical failures, apparently. That's pretty sad. There's a part of the helicopter being carried right there by someone. Look at that. Just sheared off. 2 mid-air breakdowns in 12 years. The firm that operated the helicopter that crashed in the Hudson has a long history of flying excursions. In 2013, one of the helicopters operated by the company was carrying a family of 4 and sightseeing when it suddenly lost power. Emergency crews. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. There's the skids. They didn't have a chance, folks. They didn't have a chance. That's terrible. President Trump offered condolences to families and friends in the terrible helicopter crash in a message on Truth Social. Wow. There's pictures of New York City with helicopters flying around. Every year, tens of thousands of tourist helicopter flights depart from heliports in and around New York City. Tours generally cost several $100. Advertising, seeing many of the iconic sights from above Central Park, One World Trade Center, and Statue of Liberty in as little as 15 minutes. In 2009, a helicopter carrying Italian tourists collided with a private plane over the Hudson River, killing 9 people. In 2018, a helicopter flying with its doors off fell into the East River and flipped over. Only the pilot survived that. Wow, it's terrible stuff, folks. Terrible, terrible stuff. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is really sad, Chantel. One local reporter said it lost the propeller. Oh, yeah, I definitely lost the propeller, yeah. Propeller, yeah, propeller. You mean rotors, excuse me. Propeller, yeah, that sounds like a smart reporter, yeah. Yeah, well, Julie, that's where these things fly. They fly up and down the Hudson, so you're going to have that happen, yeah. Yeah, yes, Julie, that's the one I just talked about, where the Italians were killed in that plane, yep. Yep. She's still fighting. We're watching over her. Okay, what else we got here? Coming back to USA this year was scary. So much turbulence, so many accidents on news. Every bump makes you pray harder. Yeah, no, I got you, South African farm girl. Got you. So Huey here used to be only allowed to fly over the sea up to West Coast. Huh. Well, I've got a lot of hours in Hueys, a lot of hours in Blackhawks. Yeah, some in Chinooks. Yeah. Well, Mr. QB, they don't fly over the buildings. They fly over the river. So it's just he was on the flight path back when it all just rapid disassembly, unscheduled disassembly. Horrible. Wall Street Journal also reporting on the story tonight. They've had recent financial challenges and previous crashes. 6 people, including 3 children, died. The first calls came in around 3:17, according to the fire department. Emergency response agencies were on the scene of rescue within minutes. Yeah, there are boats operating in that water from fire department that operate, and they're very quickly on the scene. Departed downtown Manhattan around 2:59, briefly traveled south before turning north up the Hudson, reached the George Washington Bridge at 3:08. The helicopter then traveled southward along the Jersey shoreline before it lost control and hit the water. Appears to have been inverted when it crashed. Yeah, upside down. And there's the image, a horrific image of the helicopter without the tail boom or the rotors on top. And you can just see it. It's just horrible. Wow. Recovering parts of the helicopter there. Jeez. Cold water too, man. Cold water. Oof. Yeah, gliding, no thanks. Few experiences with turbines, but those I have where I've had one where I dropped thousands of feet in a commercial plane. That's a little unnerving. $5,000 for 20 minutes, but well worth the view. Okay. On with China, South Africa. It's only one helicopter, guys. Okay, Bach and Terry, calm down. Okay. Rare to see such catastrophe. It is, Xavier. That's why I'm talking about it. You just don't see these things. We engineer these things so well, and they're built so well, but they've got to be maintained. Who knows what happened there? Well, it just shows you that helicopters defy reality. They defy physics. They shouldn't be in the air, but they are in the air. It's pretty crazy stuff. All right, folks. Speaking of things that shouldn't be in the air, things that defy reality, something that really is a major problem here, and that was the building in George. Remember the building collapse in George and the horrific rescue? One of our own viewers is a firefighter who was on the scene there rescuing those in that collapsed building. None other than, you guys know who he is. I'm not going to mention him. I don't know if he's here today, but one of our very own original OGs with the channel, a friend of mine, a firefighter working in the Western Cape, went to George for that rescue and participated in those rescues. So, yeah, that building was structurally defective. Warnings of structural defects went unheeded, according to a report. Months before the collapse, contractors and safety consultants raised concerns about structural defects, including cracks and use of inadequate materials, but these ostensibly went unheeded. report scrutinized the National Home Builders Registration Council's oversight, revealing negligence in addressing safety concerns, misrepresentation, and severe deficiencies in inspections. The collapse of the 75 Victoria Street building led to 34 deaths and left 28 people injured. Now, is there some chance that maybe there was corruption here and officials took money to look the other way? Maybe. Yeah. 2 days before the collapse of the five-story building in George that claimed the lives of 34, a contractor observed unusual building movements and vibrations on the roof slab. 2 days before. The contractor, Richard Kyle Andrews, also noted cracks around the base of a column on the ground floor that resembled punch-through patterns. In the basement, Andrews and his boss questioned the supporting column's narrow dimensions and the large spaces between them. The absence of critical features such as slab extension joints raised further alarm. Andrews told investigators appointed by the National Home Builders Council, the engineering firm Lyell Developments downplayed these concerns. They were appointed contractor for the Neo-Victoria multi-story apartment block. It was almost complete and due to be occupied. Instead, the building collapsed in May, 3 months before it was supposed to be occupied. Wow. But Andrews wasn't the only one that issued warnings. Subcontractor Joseph Nette warned of cracks in the Neo-Victoria developments starting to appear as early as 2023. He warned the cracks were so large that he could see through them while standing in the basement. In February 2024, Les Stevens, a safety consultant, sent a detailed email outlining safety. Wow. There's a 287-page report detailing these accounts. Folks, what the hell is going on? See, this is what happens when you have state collapse, when you have a failed state, when you have government institutions that fail to perform their basic functions like building oversight and safety. Imagine these 30%ers building the bridge you have to drive over every day, and they don't build it properly. It doesn't have the tensile strength to support the things that are on top of the bridge, and it collapses on you. Man, the hubris of human beings. Wow. Unbelievable, folks. Yeah, I can't imagine that. Just shows you one moment you're enjoying the view, the next is done. Yeah, Raina, that's why I tell people be grateful every single day. Treat others as you wish to be treated. Enjoy this experience on life. Make the most of it. It passes all too quickly. Yep. Skulk Fundamental, welcome. No heights, bungee jumping for me. Yeah, corruption, no. Say it isn't so. Exactly, Twin Vader. Count me out on heights, says Yolkin. Okay. My son was in school right next to the building. Oh my goodness, LV123. Wow. Wow. How old is your son, if you don't mind sharing? Drikas Duplessis versus Khamzat Chimov. Supposed to be announced. Okay, that'll be a great fight. Okay, Drikas is pretty popular. I mean, maintaining it goes that far. Any equipment should have end of life. Basic stuff starts flying. Well, yes and no, Sean. You can maintain these things. We're flying C-47s that are nearly a century old. Nearly a century old, and they're still airworthy. Yeah, DC-3s and C-47s, basically the same airframe. Saving money and not building the specifications, exactly. You don't mess around with things like this. You don't mess around. So there's two things I never take for granted. I'll spend the money. I don't care what it costs. If I have to go without food, I'll go without food. Two things I always take care of: the brakes and the tires on my vehicles. Always have serviceable tires, always have serviced brakes. Ain't no chance I'm going to take with that. Yeah, so many warning signs. You're right, Raina. It was so many warning signs. Supposed to be single story. That I didn't know, Sean. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Negligence. I found a 1,000 amp circuit breaker in the office position with voltage on both sides. If it was put on, 2 transformers would connect and explode. Good Lord. In Cape Town. Gosh, Jason. 11 p.m. my time. Well, Jochen, it is 6:11 in the morning for folks in South Africa. In Munich, it's 6:11. In Abuja, it's 5:11. Monrovia, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, as it is in Accra. Wellington, it's 4 in the afternoon. Sydney, it's 2 in the afternoon. Tokyo, it's 1 in the afternoon. And Perth, it's noontime. Dublin, it's 5 o'clock. Do you know who your children are? Yeah, it's asked before H2A was a safety specialist. This disgusted me. Okay, news was shared. Was not even approved yet. Local municipality. Yep. A couple years back, I was working in the area in Santon where they were building a bridge that collapsed on the highway. Not even sure if anyone was held accountable. Probably not. Oh, yeah, don't watch Final Destination. That's not a movie you want to watch. He was 15 in homeschool. Okay, thank you, LV. Well, then who's going to remember that? B-52s are nearly a century old, correct, Holden, and they are still amazing. Had a client, well, so the SR-71, that damn thing is like 40, almost 50 years, 60 years old, too. The ground was not suitable for building, very clay. Yeah, okay. Drikas is great representative of South Africans. You should all be proud. Yes. Current major problem, 5,000 rand gets plans approved. Yep. 10-12 in Kansas. Oh, you're in Kansas. Well, we're not in Kansas anymore, dear. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. No, Toto. Run away, Toto. I hear the rains down in Africa. Oh, sorry, wrong Toto. Anyway, they burned trucks in Port Elizabeth, ruined infrastructure on the roads to add. What's that? I wonder if you do know where your children are with a thing. Yeah, it was here, Chantel. When I was a kid, I hate it, man. It's 8 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Damn it. Go to bed. So it's still the fastest plane ever. I don't know if it's the fastest plane ever, but it's certainly up there. But man, that thing, when the SR-71, I don't know if you know this, when the SR-71 is fueled on the ground, it's leaking fuel. The fuel leaks. They have to do that. Think about this. This thing takes off with jet engines and with air ramp, and it's got leaking fuel. Because as it climbs in altitude, the tanks swell, the fuel, and it seals up. But it takes off with leaking fuel tanks. That's scary stuff, huh? The Blackbird SR-71, an incredible piece of engineering. You're basically flying a spacecraft. Yeah, no moral compass or regard for human life. It's a culture of corruption, self-serving, lying in their pockets, crazy. By the way, can't wait for the announcement of Dems in power being prosecuted. Oh, well, Pam Bondi finally announced today in a conversation with, notice Trump is a great leader. He puts his people forward. He lets them speak. He lets them stand up and explain things. Does it time and time again. All his press conferences he has, most of them he has people there, and he lets them answer the questions. And so today he had them all. He had RFK was there. He had Pam Bondi there, and just Kristi Noem. List went on and on. And Pam Bondi said, "We're coming after you." Oh man, the gloves are coming off to these officials. And guess who they appointed for the U.S. Attorney for New Jersey? Alina Habba. The leftists are going to be crying. She is going to issue warrants in panel grand juries. It's going to be a bloodletting for the leftists. It's going to be code pink, all right. It's going to be code red. They're going to be dripping blood everywhere. The leftists are going to get it coming. All these officials in New Jersey, including the governor, who have been undermining the rule of law and violating federal law by not cooperating, they are going to find themselves im Knast, as we say, auf Deutsch, im Knast. Yes, and hand bracelets in jail. Yep. Wow. Well, yes, leaking fuel doesn't bother you, but leaking hydraulics could be a very unsettling thing. Yeah, I agree with you. I haven't seen anything about a U.S. pastor being kidnapped. Where did that sell? That's not news anywhere. Oh, South African farm girl. No, people always go after the clergy. In the Congo, when Erica and others, Malcolm, fled from the Congo in the 60s, they captured women after they gang raped them. They murdered them, chopped them up, and then ate them, put them in fridges in the eastern Congo. Yeah. Yeah, in Rwanda, the Catholic nuns, including white American nuns and others, Europeans, were locked in churches and burned alive and, were cut up with pungas. Yeah, no, they have no respect for people of faith. Yeah, Alina saw her on the rallies. Yeah, she is sharp. Saw Patel resign. No, Kash Patel didn't resign. What are you talking about? No, hang on. Let me just make sure. Did I miss something? He didn't resign. What are you talking about? No, he hasn't resigned. Kash Patel was doing a dual role. He's the director of the FBI, but he's also temporarily filling the role of the director of the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, which is another position. Yeah, he's simply been, someone's put in place, but the media makes it look like he's been fired or something like that. That's not true. Nas, what's going on there? Always enjoy your program. From Port Elizabeth, welcome to you. Yeah, he vacated an empty position. That's correct, Stella. There you go. There it is. Kash Patel. This guy's brilliant at the FBI. This is the breath of fresh air we needed at the FBI. Now, to his left is Tulsi Gabbard, not my pick for Director of National Intelligence, but hey, Trump with her. FBI Director Kash Patel has been removed. He's acting chief of the Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco Firearms, replaced with the Army Secretary. Well, this was bound to happen. I'm surprised the Army Secretary is the guy doing the job, though. It's not immediately clear why he was replaced. But one person familiar said the move was removed at the end of February, just days after he was sworn in, but was never publicly announced. Yeah, there you go. So, Buildings that got incompetent contractors, they had to spend a lot to fix the problem, and luckily found the problem. Anyone could have put the breaker on, no safety. Started off my African brother sister just before he got bonked. Any mention of the visa cancellation in the U.S. for anti-Semitic social media posts? No. No. You talking about the people who endanger public safety? Flux capacitor? Yeah, those people had 300 students have had their visas removed, as they should be. All right, Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill Lewis, someone I took a photograph with one of my trips to South Africa. Apparently, I was at Kirstenbosch, as was he for the funeral of, was it James Self who died? Yeah, Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill Lewis is facing investigation amid a family dispute. I'm sure that the left loves this. Under investigation due to a formal complaint alleging abuse of power and harassment related to a dispute involving his mother-in-law's neighborhood. The altercation with an Edgemead resident escalated into a legal matter after the mayor accused the resident of violating land use regulations. Western Cape's Lieutenant Colonel Malcolm Poggi confirmed to IOL that a case of intimidation was open. Wow. Interesting. The use of law enforcement in this manner, particularly when there's no evidence of wrongdoing, raises concerns about the abuse of power. Having direct access to law enforcement should not be used to settle personal disputes or engage in petty neighborhood conflicts. I agree. And the use of law enforcement to kidnap, torture those you suspect of stealing $580,000 from your sofa at your game ranch should not be tolerated either. It should lead to criminal prosecution. I'm just saying, Mynheer Pala Pala. Pala Pala, Pala Pala. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm just saying. You'd think there'd be criminal charges for the kidnapping, torture of people from another country. They didn't just pick them up from Northwest. It wasn't like, hey, they left. They went to Northwest. No, they were in Namibia. Yeah. Where are the criminal prosecution for that? Who's being held accountable for that? What about Julius Malema assaulting a police officer because he was white? Attacking a police officer at the funeral of Winnie Mandela. Nothing there. Nothing to see here, folks. Wow. Yes, Amanda apparently is a great mayor. That's what people say. But this is going to be too distracting. Yeah. How about sending the army to curb crime? Oh, yeah. Well, did I make a video on that yet? I think I made a video on it. Didn't I make a video on that? I was half asleep earlier. Did I make a video? How'd it come out? Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I made a video. I wonder if it's good or bad. Not many people are watching it, so it must not have been very good. Bummer. Bummer. Oh, nobody's watching this video. What the hell's going on there? You know, I got 5,000 views on that thing. What's going on here? Let's see what's going on. Was it a bad video? Let's see what this says here, man. Okay, mute. Got an advert here. Okay. Folks, welcome back. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. Even when they mean well, even when they have the best of intentions, you got to wonder where these African National Congress members of Parliament get their worldview, their education. This is an interesting story that's breaking out of South Africa. South African troops should be unleashed onto the country streets to clamp down on crime. Now, that may be just a sensationalist statement from News 24, but it appears in the article in which they're talking about African National Congress member of Parliament Dakota Lahote, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Defense and Military Veterans, who believes that the country's sovereignty is at stake. Wow, what's going on? Well, crime is the issue. Now, Lahote is serving in Parliament for the first time, having entered Parliament in 2024 after 6 years deployed at the ANC headquarters at Lutuli House, and he comes from Northwest Province, which is a province beset by all kinds of administrative problems. Maybe he had something to do with some of those. Lahote is serving in Parliament for the first. Now, see, I told you I was half asleep. I didn't edit that out. Should have edited that out. Maybe that's why nobody's watching it. Anyway, yeah, I talked about this story. But it did look dapper. Didn't I look sharp? I look sharp, huh? Anyway, yeah, Les, you say that, Loretta, but you were all sleeping when I announced Trump's program and 38,000 people tuned in at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, yeah, people were watching that day, yeah. Hey, Raina, watch it. When I wake up at night, I can't sleep because I'm checking the yard and watching the Colonel. There you go, Raina. This is a move by communist intentions. Why being the same week they want to disarm people. Yep, you're right, Stella. It's bad. Couldn't feed the army. Exactly, Charles. They jumped the queue during the insurrection. The army went to the few pick and pays, checkers, and ShopRites that weren't torched in KZN, went in front of all the thousands of people who were standing in line to get food and buy it. They went to the front and get their food because there were no rations. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Loretta commented. Well, let's see what Loretta had to say. the comments on this. Unleashing the current military personal citizen is an epic disaster. Yep. Oh, there are a lot of comments for not so many people watching it. Cool. Failed state. Chantel. Nico. They're smoking something weird. Elizabeth Krug, a comment as well. Yes. Wow, there are a lot of comments here for a video with so few views. That's pretty cool. Thank you all for that. Oh, thank you for membership. Cat City. Cat City. Thank you for joining the program. All right, I'm going to bed at stupid hours to catch some cat naps like Colonel Chris. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Do you have the latest news on how many people are interested in the refugee program? Well, there's been no updates to what I've talked about, Gordon, the number I previously gave you. So we're relying on information from a number of sources. Let me check on something here real quick, folks. Okay, cool. All right, so, yeah, I'm going into the dentist for the crown. I got a temporary right here. Temporary crown. I'm getting it. The permanent crown is in. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to pop it on there. Army's total waste of time in KZN. Yep, by the time they went in, it was already over. They patrolled the safe areas. Yep, they didn't do much of anything. And when they were in Goma, we saw the entire lack of fire discipline. What a mess. Yeah, what a mess. All right, so while we've been on here, Ingrid LaGrange subscribed. I didn't see that. Thank you for subscribing. They want to have control. Exactly. Martin says, I might have watched. I might be dreaming. I hate the dentist. Really my worst nightmare. Raina, I don't mind the dentist. No. Raina says, my brain is on your time zone. Well, I don't know what time zone I'm on because I work off of South African time. So I don't know what I do with my glasses. I brought my glasses earlier. Now I can't find them. Darn it. They're here somewhere. Anyway, busy going through, cleaning up through some things. I've got most of what I need to finish this week, so pretty exciting. Hey, Tomahawk, how's it going there, man? All right, so back to the news we go. Back to the news we go. So here's what South Africa can offer Donald Trump. Finally, somebody paying attention to what can happen from negotiations. This is pretty good stuff here. Let's talk about it. That's right, Charles. No surprise that this female soldier was knocked up. Vanessa, no, not these glasses. And not these glasses, but the glasses I prefer to wear. These look kind of weird. I look like a Poindexter with these glasses on. I look like, I don't know, Clark Kent. Just a moment, I have to find a phone booth. Superman. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Super Chris. That makes me look like Clark Kent. They're awful uncomfortable. They push hard. These are okay, but these are kind of like a little more erudite looking there. Yes, I have them on. Thank you for that. Zero leadership. Yep. I have to work for my father tomorrow. I wanted to stop in and show my support, keeping up. All right. Thank you very much, Army 3279. Hooah. All right. So what can South Africa offer Trump? Well, Clark eats onions, though. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No. It's a fucking goat, man. That's right, Gordon. 90 days to negotiate with the U.S. to avoid an import tariff. They could offer the same trade terms the EU and UK enjoy, including lowering the tariff importing U.S. cars from 25 to 18%. It can also offer sweeteners to make it easier for the U.S. firms to do business in South Africa. South Africa should offer the U.S. the same free trade deal it has the UK and European Union. Let me ask you a question, folks. Does the European Union and the UK give South Africa duty-free access to markets? The answer is no. Does the UK or the European Union give South Africa $500 million per year in foreign assistance? No. Who's been doing that for the last 30 years? Well, that'd be us. Not the duty-free. That started 25 years ago. We've been giving duty-free access to our marketplace and giving you $500 million a year for the last 25, 30 years. And you treat us like crap by having higher import duties on our cars than what you charge Europeans? What the hell is that all about? They colonized you. I mean, the Bantu colonized you. The Europeans colonized you, South Africa, and you give them better deals than you give us? And South Africans are whining about how America has put tariffs. You give us a worse deal than you give the Europeans. A worse deal than you give the Europeans. Seriously? Wow. China. It's unbelievable. So I found a guy in the farmland sawing off a power line carrying pole. He got arrested this morning at 4 in the afternoon. He was walking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no justice, Jason. What's eventually going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's eventually going to happen there is people like that, something's going to happen to them. They're going to disappear. And that's what's vigilantes. If things don't get straightened out soon in South Africa, that's why they want to take your firearms away from you, because they're terrified vigilantes will go after the people that they, allow and tolerate to commit these crimes, these heinous crimes. You want the goat, S.A. Pete? Oh, man, come on. We can do that.
His charge.
That's not, look at that.
His charge.
It's everything. That showed you everything. That was messed up. All right, here we go. That opened up everything at once. All right, guy wants the goat.
A fucking goat outside.
It's just a goat.
No, it's a fucking goat.
It's a fucking goat. It's potato or corn. Starting to realize KFC Streetwise will not help in negotiations. No, it won't. T-shirts aren't going to win us over. Yeah, it's goat stew, says Charles. No, I don't eat goat. Africans have been trying to get me to eat goat for 30 years, man. Yes, I know, blood coat, but we're not going to talk about that. It is already happening. Yep. What? Linziki, welcome to you. Chips for power plants. To end the trans bathroom thing, the bathroom should just be returned to persons. Yeah, boys have penises, girls have vaginas. Some moments are just unforgettable. Boys have penises, girls have vaginas. Yeah. Leilu Dallas, multipass, Leilu Dallas. It took all night to arrive for crime scene. The lads torched 9 people. Oh, gosh. Gee, many crickets. Louis just gave a super sticker for 140 Rand. Cool beans. Thank you for that, man. Trevor Multipass. Oh, they're Trevor Multipass. Leilu Dallas, Multipass. One of my favorite parts of that movie was when they were in the Egyptian, pyramid, and the light is collapsing, and they got the little kid holding the big shiny piece of metal to reflect the light, so that the professor can look at the wall. He's trying to clean it off and read stuff. And Luke Perry was in that. He was outside, and the kids are falling asleep, and so the mirror slips, and he goes, "Aziz, light! Aziz, light!" Louis, thank you for the 140 Rand super sticker. And Linziki just gave 10 memberships. Wow. The other one, Mom, there's a monkey on the car. I haven't seen that one. Close to the Colorado mountain, or Colorado borders. There you go. Scruffy Bunny. Almost heaven. Oh, that's West Virginia. Sorry, wrong one. Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees, younger than the mountains, rolling like a breeze. One of the great songs all time. Fifth Element. Yeah, Mila Jovovich. Yes, Multipass. That's the one. Son of the one. I'll take it at your word then, but I don't think that is accurate. What's that? Who are you taking at their word? At least you're having a laugh. We're trying to have a laugh here. It's been some bad news for some people today. How am I feeling since Kay's Garden? Actually, I've got a second wind. I've been Raina Fletch, thank you. I've been busy. Today went well, and good news to get my crown in. I want to have it done before I do my project this weekend, so that's good news. So I'll just pop this temporary off and seat the permanent one, and we should be good to go. Yeah, West Virginia's a beautiful state, but they're eating the dogs or eating the cats. No, wait, that's in Ohio. Eating the dogs, eating the cats. Gideon Ruiz, welcome to you. Wait, between the G's and R's, that's a tough one. Gideon Ruiz. I would say Gideon Ruse. Like kangaroos, but that's not how you say it in Afrikaans. Anyway, so South Africa has some negotiating power here, but they don't realize it. Oh, you meant to feel the Kansas, gotcha. It's not 10:30 in Kansas. Check the town of Tribune in Kansas, no lies. Okay. Joyce. 10% tariff expect to override the Africa growth opportunity. Yep, plus the 25% is still there. And cars, aluminum, and steel, still there. Yep. Anyway, so according to reports, I got to turn that off for a second. That's distracting. Where the heck you at? We already showed the goat, so enough of the goat. But for the American negotiators, you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful because you don't want an Admiral Akbar moment.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Yes. So, U.S. already has a tariff-free quota of 70,000 tons of poultry, of which only 60% is used. Oh, we have a tariff-free quota. A quota, which means we're only allowed to ship so much in. The reason we don't ship much in is because the last time we shipped it in, you applied a 75% tariffed us. So, Tariff term with U.S. meant South Africa's exporters should look elsewhere. With the tariff now paused, he said it's still important South Africa seek alternative markets. Well, people should seek whatever markets they can find that are reliable. Always. Sell your stuff where you can get the best for your product. Of course. Of course. Bets Corbis here. Welcome to you. All right. Schwane Mayor from Action SA is at it again. The former deputy mayor who stabbed the mayor in the back. Ah! Cilliers break. Ah! Yikes.
It's a
It's a
trap.
trap. It's a trap. Look, let's say hello to our friends in the Economic Freedom Fighters. There they are. Hey, boys. How's it going? Hey, it's the Red Teletubbies, man. Welcome to the program tonight. The Red Teletubbies are joining us here tonight. There you go. Let's leave him up there. Let's leave him up there. Yeah. Well, the city's financial outlook is beginning to show signs of improvement despite the fact the economy is in recession. Interesting. She says she's serving everyone, not just the rich. Well, I would hope so. Action SA Schwane Mayor Nasipe Moya has vowed to deliver services to all residents, not just those in Prioritor's affluent suburbs. So, will the media go to Shoshanguve and to the poor, offer Connor informal settlements to the west, and see how people are doing? Will reporters show up on the scene? How have things improved here in Shoshanguve with the new mayor from Action SA that cares about everybody? Please tell us, Sipo, what's your life like now? Don't know what that means, H2A. More power to you for all the brave. I've been at West since I was a child, okay? Our governor seriously thinks the rest of the world's leaders are stupid. Yes, they do, Vanessa. They do believe that. Yeah. All right, well, we're going to say goodbye to the Red Teletubbies. Bye-bye, boys. Go back to Parliament with your prison jumpsuits. There you go, folks. I've asked you before, when you have time in your busy schedule, please watch 1 to 2 seconds of Born to War. Born to War. Okay, all right. Thank you. Oh, you're talking about the Visa H2 Alpha, yeah. Yes, no, let's see, South African farm girl, you would be what we call a migrant, an actual migrant. Not the criminals who come across the Rio Grande, slip into America, drop their identification along the riverbanks, pollute our country, invade our space, and then bring Tundra Agua, MS-13 with them, pedos, and all kinds of criminals. Plus some good people too. But they're all criminals. Those aren't migrants. Those are criminals. They're felons. They've violated our sovereignty. They're not welcome here. It's about 30 million of them. Get the fuck out. You're an actual migrant. You know, we gave you a visa. We checked your background. We welcome you to come here on a temporary basis to work. And thank you for coming. That's a migrant. Then we have immigrants who come here legally. They move here. They get a permanent residency with a green card. They live here. They work here. They contribute. Eventually, many of them become American citizens. Bravo. Those are immigrants. Then we have asylum seekers, legitimate asylum seekers, not the 97% who are frauds, but the 3% who are genuine, who are persecuted or abroad and for some reason find themselves in America. And while they're here, they go and they try to claim asylum, the legal path. That small number. Then we have refugees. 30 to 150,000 on average per year who come here from around the world, persecuted, find themselves in a safe haven in a third country, and then they come to America. And they contribute to the kaleidoscope that is America. But that's who we have. Migrants, immigrants, asylum seekers, and refugees. Not criminal alien invaders. That's what those people are. Police station 3 kilometers away. Took 7 hours to come collect the captured criminals. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, he does look a lot like Floyd Shivambu. But I have to change his colors to green now because he's in the MK party. Joan Devunaga, welcome to Irony. Joseph Malemi complains about colonials, but he wears colonial beret. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? He wears a girl's hat from France. Oh, Julius, you're wearing your beret. Oh, it's Julius Malemi and his raspberry beret. The kind you find in the secondhand store. Raspberry beret. I've been on the green card for 15 years. Clearly you don't want me. Skulk. What do you mean you've been on the green card? Your application isn't there anymore, man. There's no way it's 15 years it's been there. Crazy how people don't see the difference in what's legal and illegal, even asylum. Well, it's because they want illegals here to undermine our population, our census, and steal votes from conservative states. That's what's going on. Well, the tariff escalations between the United States, Donald Trump keeps upping the ante. Soon it'll cost 500% tariff on crap from China. You watch. We're getting close there, folks. Tit for tat. Experts say U.S.-China relations have crossed a key threshold. A showdown between the world's largest and second largest economies has begun. Look at that. 34, 34, 50, 50, 145% tariffs on China. Wow. After days of breakneck tariff escalation between the United States and Chinese regime, the two countries have entered a new era of heightened confrontation and decoupling. Good. Beijing retaliated with its own 34% duty. Trump raised the tariffs by 50%, only to be matched by China. So he raised it again to 145%. Looky there. Looky there. Wow. Wow. There's the Don, man. There he is. That's back in 2019. Oh, look, it's the evil Europeans. Bunch of lefties. Bunch of nasty lefties. All right. One corner of Europe doesn't quite look like Europe. One of these things is not like the other. Yeah, someone mentioned Wise, TransferWise Bank. Yeah, they mentioned that yesterday. One corner of Europe still feels sharp chill in the transatlantic ties. A network U.S. military based in southern Germany offers a microcosm of the fears gripping the continent. What the hell is this story? Driving towards the German village of Ramstein-Miesenbach feels like entering a twilight zone. Now I'm slipping into the twilight zone. Feels like a madhouse. Anyway, it's no longer Germany, but it isn't quite America. The density of pickup trucks and baseball caps increases. Bilingual signs are everywhere. And live country music is played every Thursday at Big Emma's Brewery. But a chill has gripped the tiny village across the fence surrounding Ramstein. We still play soccer with Americans. We cook together. We celebrate Easter. We just don't talk politics. Since returning to office in January, President Trump has returned against allies, reserving some of his harshest barbs for Europe, which deserves them. He's raised questions about the future of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, a security alliance that underpins U.S. presence, and attempted a rapprochement with Vladimir Putin. That's not true. He's not attempted a rapprochement. He tried to negotiate to end the war. See how even the Wall Street Journal lies about what's happening. Yep. Slapped import tariffs on Europe because they have tariffs on us. There's Kaiserslautern in Rheinland-Pfalz. Been there many, many times. Here you go. U.S. military installations that are left in Germany. There aren't many left. Geilenkirchen, Wiesbaden, Spangdahlem, Ramstein, Stuttgart, Ansbach, Hohenfels. Yeah, not many left. It used to be everything from a word Germany was completely saturated with hundreds, thousands of U.S. military bases. In 1990, ladies and gentlemen, there were 287,000 active duty U.S. Army troops stationed in West Germany. There were 160,000 Air Force troops stationed in West Germany. There were a few thousand Navy Marines at headquarters in West Germany. And there were 100,000 civilian employees of the Department of Defense. There were 1 million Americans walking around West Germany, a country of 68 million people. One out of every 68 people was an American with a Department of Defense ID card, an American citizen living under status of force agreement in West Germany. 1 million of us. It's a joke today. There's only 100,000 or so. In other news, Ukraine is seeking to arrest a man aboard the space station. Ukrainian-born Russian cosmonaut is listed as a draft dodger. You are correct, Gerard Duprier. China can't afford this fight. Soon they'll be rioting in the streets, and it's not going to look like Teslas. Yep. To be able to produce a product that says made in USA or made in Spain would give you the confidence that the product will work in the long term. No more made in China. Cool. You know, that made in label started with Germany. Well, I don't think a lot of people know this, but the Germans were producing superior consumer industrial goods back in the late 19th century. And the Brits forced them, because they were being outdone by German quality products, to put made in Germany in English on their products, thinking that people won't buy it because it's from the Hun, it's from the Germans. But in fact, just like made in Japan, became a mark of excellence. The same thing made in Germany. And it continues to this day. Anything that says made in Germany is usually considered to be high value consumer product or industrial product, particularly industrial products. Japan, after the war, stole things from IP theft. They copyright violated, did everything like the Chinese communists are doing, until they built enough capital up that they did the research and development on their own. They started building their own, coming with their own products. And the mark made in Japan became a symbol of excellence as well. Think of South Korea. Made in Korea was never a symbol of excellence. But look at LG, Lucky Gold Star, Daewoo, Samsung. Amazing companies now. And the world's best shipyards. Yep. Anyone talking about that is how much crude oil has fallen. Oh, well, but Jochen, you're not paying attention. I've talked about it endlessly. I've told you how it's dropped from 70 to 60. Now it's below $60 a barrel. I've been talking about it every day, man. You got to pay attention here. I've been talking about it every day, Jochen. as a consequence of the declining demand. Now's the time when the price of petroleum begins to climb because the demand starts to pick up as we get into spring and head to summer. But right now, oil is dropping. Demand is down. Age of Aquarius. Didn't America help us get out of apartheid with huge sanctions? Yeah, we did, Devault, but not according to Nota Boloy, not according to racists in the EFF, not according to the ANC. Yeah, how quickly they forget. Charmaine's got to go. No electricity. Wow, welcome to South Africa. Is it best to go refugee program or work sponsor green card? Well, getting a work sponsor green card is not easy, South African girl, but if you can get it, it's a permanent residency card, then that's fantastic. But refugee program, you have to be in South Africa to apply for it. So anyway, all right. The House has passed Trump's budget. Ooh. Plan to advance Trump's agenda. The House approved a revised blueprint to unlock a bill for Trump. Check out the cherry blossoms next to the Capitol building. Gorgeous. That's photographed from March 27th, by the way. We're past the cherry blossom time. In a 216 to 214 vote, the lower chamber approved the Senate-passed budget blueprint in spite of lingering concerns among some Republicans' potential financial impact of the Senate's instructions. Two Republicans, Thomas Massey of Kentucky and Victoria Spartz of Indiana, opposed the package. Victoria Spartz is a Ukrainian, if I'm not mistaken. Trump, who pushed for passage of the package, praised the lower chamber's passage. Among many other things, it will be the largest tax regulation cuts ever contemplated. Wow. House Speaker Mike Johnson wrote, by clearing this critical hurdle, House committees can now work in tandem with Senate committees to swiftly prepare for respective parts of reconciliation bill. With Republicans 220 seats, Democrats 213 in the House, Johnson couldn't afford to spare more than 3 defectors. In the days leading up to April 10th adoption of the resolution, that goal seemed distant, but he managed to pull it off. Yep. There were as many as 40 Republican critics on April 8th, but here we are April 11th, and it has passed. Wow. But they want to raise the debt ceiling by $5 trillion, and a lot of Republicans were not happy about that. Even the dog ignores Gerard. Why do you mean the dog ignores you? What are you talking about, man? Biden even went to jail under apartheid. What? Charmaine, have a good day. Yeah, most of them weren't around during the sanctions. They don't know what they're talking about. No, I got attacked. These idiots attacking my video that said nothing about the topic. And they started talking about stuff in America. Your country, this, and you supported apartheid. And dude, you don't know what you're talking about. Yes, he said he visited Mandela on Robben Island in Soweto. I think somebody's challenged geographically. Soweto is not there. Clinton gave $40,000 to ANC to help win the election. I didn't know about that. That's news to me. All right, Heinrich has got to take off. Oh, Heinrich, have a good day, man. Good to see you again. I didn't see you in the chat, man. Heinrich's a big super chatter and member handouter. Yep. I think what we were saying is Biden went to Robben Island. Yes, he did. He went to see Nelson Mandela on Robben Island in Soweto. Yeah, he took the train to Robben Island with Corn Pop. Corn Pop's a bad dude, man. 40 million. Okay, yeah, that sounds more like it. Supreme Court sides with wrongly deported migrant. He's not a migrant. He's a criminal alien invader, and he has no business in America. This undermines the rule of law in America. The Supreme Court is rogue once again. A trial judge ordered the Trump administration to take steps to return migrant. He's not a migrant. He's a criminal alien invader, Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia from El Salvador. Supreme Court Thursday instructed the government to take steps to return this criminal who had wrongly deported to a notorious prison. He wasn't wrongly deported. He was deported correctly, Adam Liptak. In unsigned order, the court stopped short of ordering the return, indicating that the courts may not have the power to require the executive branch to do so. Of course they don't have the power, but they endorsed part of the trial judge's order that he required the government to facilitate the effective return. Case now returns to trial court. To this day, Justice Sotomayor wrote, the government has cited no basis in law for his warrantless arrest, his removal to El Salvador. I have a basis for it there, Justice Sotomayor. The brilliant Latina. We need a Latina on the court because only a Latina can understand Latinas. But you dumbass dingbat doorknob, you don't need to understand Latinas. You need to understand the Constitution. Hey, hello, Sotomayor, Sonia Sotomayor. You must understand the Constitution. Ribe, hey, odle, the Constitution. You must understand the Constitution, not Latinas. Who gives a flying flip about Latinas? Latinas have no impact on the Constitution. You must understand the Constitution for constitutionality. Sotomayor. The basis for removing this guy is he's an alien. He's a criminal. He's a felon who invaded America, who violated our sovereignty. That's the basis for kicking him out. Adios, andale, arriba. Ooh. Goodbye. Adios, amigos. Goodbye. Yes, the Supreme Court correctly recognized its exclusive prerogative of the president to conduct foreign affairs, but by directly noting the difference owed to the executive branch, its ruling once again illustrates that activist judges do not have the jurisdiction to seize control of the president's authority to conduct foreign policy. So the Justice Department claims victory. The courts claim victory. Who got victory? Well, I think that illegal aliens got victory here because this man has no right to be in America, and we're being told we have to bring him back. No, I don't think so. I don't know why you identify as a tall white, Martin, because white people are kicked out too for being illegal aliens. We got Germans who violated our sovereignty and came in the country illegally with that, and they're being detained right now. Some South Africans don't like America, but those same people don't want illegals in our country. They have the same. Yeah, exactly. No, they're just idiot hypocrites, Raina. They're just bigots and racists, and that's where that comes from. Banks in South Africa are the biggest donors to ANC. Probably. Twilight's upon me, knackered. Dinner's done. Okay, you all can have a good day. Professor G's video on passports. I did, and I don't agree with it. He ameliorated what he was saying at the end, but he's saying you don't need passports. As I've said from the very beginning, in principle, I would think you wouldn't need them. But I live in the real world, and I know South African immigration. I've had to fight with Home Affairs, who erroneously put the wrong date in my passport. 9 days, not 90 days. I know what it's like. I know how they are. And unless there's a C-130 or a C-17 on the airstrip and U.S. military personnel with weapons escorting you from the terminal onto the plane, the South African Immigration Service can turn you back without a passport. So, while Evan says you don't need a passport, in theory you don't, and I agree with that. But you must not allow people to assume that things are so easy. They're not. This is also in-country refugee status. You're not really refugees. So in my view, you're in a precarious situation vis-a-vis the host country, the home country. So I disagree with what he said there. In spirit, he's correct, but in application, I think that he doesn't understand South Africa. I'm just saying. I could be wrong. Well, Aaron, it's because there's a lot of people here who say they have no money for passports. They don't have the $35 to buy a passport, or they have 7 kids and they can't afford it. Well, if you have 7 kids, maybe that's why you can't afford it. Maybe family planning should have been part of your equation. Just saying. No, Case, you're welcome. We could both be right. We could both be wrong. Again, I just know how Home Affairs is, you know. SAPC issues heartfelt apology for missed Afrikaans news. How about a heartfelt, well, they don't owe me any apology, but it's Newsroom Africa and the Daily Maverick that owe me apologies. Oh, boy. It is 1 hour, 19 minutes here. We're going to wrap up here for too much longer. Boyfriend had been married 37 years. Although I want to get married, but sounds like it's the only way for medical reason. He's dependent on her, but doesn't. Huh. Yeah, MCM says, can't afford to ruin mine at the moment. Yeah, but I'm not going to criticize individuals here, but I'll just give examples of people who are smoking right now who didn't have money for a passport. People who had themselves a Casa Lager tonight, but didn't have money for a passport. Now, there are truly people in desperate straits, but some of the people who say they're in desperate straits are not really in desperate straits. They're just not making the right decisions in life. Farm duties. Hey, Thea. We have no kids, but 2 people living one salary makes the balancing. Indeed, 1,440. I hear you. Anyway, I'm not telling people, and I've never told you to get a passport. I'm just saying that it's just prudent. You should have a passport. So you can take your chance, and if it's not needed and they let you go, then cool beans. Cool beans. But I mean, put yourself in this situation, folks. If you leave South Africa without a passport, you won't get an American passport unless you're an American citizen. Okay? So if you have plans of visiting anywhere, see, this is where a lot of the misinformation came out early on. People are saying, refugees can't leave the country. They're trapped. Remember that Canadian consultant who's trying to drum up business to get you to go to Canada and basically lied about U.S. program, calling it asylum. It wasn't asylum, and trying to tell people that what Trump was doing is nefarious, which isn't the case. That's shameful conduct for someone just trying to make money. Anyway, so all these lies going on about the program. Well, if you go on refugee, it's a mark, and it's a black mark against you. You'll never be able to travel anywhere. You can never go home. Well, if you're a refugee, generally speaking, you're not allowed to return to the country you came from because, well, your life was in jeopardy. Why would we let you go back there and get your life in jeopardy again? You just wasted our time and money letting you come over here. But there are exceptions, they can make exceptions for death in the family or severe illness, something like that. But they gave the impression you can never go. Well, you cannot go to England and study. Why can't you go from the United States to England and study? Of course you can if you can obtain a visa. But if you don't have a passport, if you left South Africa without a passport, how are you ever going to travel internationally until you become American? Basically, if you don't have a passport and you go to America as a refugee, you can't obtain a South African passport. Maybe you can get one through the embassy in South African embassy in D.C. Maybe, I don't know, or the consulate in Los Angeles. I don't know. You think you could, but I don't know. But if you can't get one, you can't go back there, then you will be without a passport. You effectively make yourself stateless. You're not legally stateless. You're still South African, but you have no evidence you're South African. People aren't going to accept your driver's license to enter an airport in London or in Berlin or in Paris or Amsterdam. You have to have a passport, and you won't be able to get a passport. So your travel papers letting you leave South Africa that may issue to you aren't good to go elsewhere. It's just to come into America. So, do what you want to do, folks. But, I mean, I'm just offering you good advice here. So, anyway. Took 6 days and got the booking, says Gerard. Okay, cool. Off to work, says Peter Wick. Ernst Mullman, how do you have 7 kids? Well, Ernst, I've had people contact me asking for money, telling me they have 7 kids. Garrett, I know people who got their passport in 3 days. I also know people who claim they've been waiting 6 weeks. DHS don't issue a travel document. I thought you can apply for that within the U.S. I didn't say DHS did not issue a travel document. I didn't say that. DHS doesn't issue travel documents. No, it would be from the Department of State that issues. That's where passports come from, the Department of State, not from Homeland Security. Homeland Security is not Home Affairs. Don't confuse this with what South Africa has. No. Oh, the Afrikaans news program, yeah, it was a trial run. Yep. Expired. Well, that's another problem. Well, we had a Dutch couple who had 12 kids. Well, see, there you go. Yep. 4 days in KZN, says Ernst. Okay. Got a passport through the banks. Well, it still comes from Home Affairs. You're just not dealing with Home Affairs. It's going through the banks. That's a brilliant setup because people are getting much faster that way because you don't have to even see the Home Affairs people. Yep. Exactly, Arctic. That's my knowledge. The South African embassy will only do renewals. So if you leave South Africa without an embassy, then you've assured yourself that until you obtain American citizenship, you're not going anywhere but America. Well, that's not a bad thing. I mean, you can see everything in America. But if for some reason you need to go to Japan or you have to go to Dubai, maybe your brother is sick and ill in Dubai and you need to go in comfort, you can't go. You don't have a passport. So, just saying, folks. I know people don't have the money, but look, I mean, I grew up in a different world. I grew up in poverty, but from the age of 19, I've had a passport. Yes. Johan Kokomor says you can provide for 7 kids, you're a superhero. Yep. Business has been falling since 20. Never will beg for money. I think people are trying to take advantage of Colonel. Of course, proud of the NFL. Lots of people try to take advantage of me. It happens every day. You've got people insulting me. We've got tons of people who are disrespectful to me. We've got people who are racist towards me. I've got people who threaten my life and my safety. And I've got people trying to take advantage of me all the time, offering me business deals, asking for money. Yeah, look, I've only ever used my platform to raise money for a couple of times and for very specific purposes. Number one, I refuse to do it because once you open the floodgates up, then people try to take advantage of you. And I don't know these people necessarily. So I had a person who was on my program every single day and was disrupting my chat. And a person asked for money to raise money for something. I'm not going to give any more details because I'm not going to embarrass the person. But I reluctantly agreed along with another YouTuber to raise money for that person. We raised money for that person. That person disappeared from my channel, has never showed up on my channel ever again. The ingratitude of that person not coming to my channel, unbelievable. But actually, I'm better off because that person just poisoned the chat, so I didn't mind leaving. But after using me and someone else to get money, never showed up again. Never showed up again. So there's one, okay? I did because I was kind of upset that the Conscious Clerical had never gotten a payout from YouTube because they just kept taking his money because he never reached the threshold. So one day, I decided we're going to have fun. So we decided to all go over from my stream to the Conscious Clerical stream and just start giving him and laying money at him. And he got his first ever payout. He deserved it. He does great content. So that was kind of a thing. Recently had a person who was robbed. One of our viewers was robbed just before Christmas. And I said, if you guys want to donate, and then I donate money. So yeah, but other than that, just it's not worth it, folks. Not worth it. It's trouble. Look, when people come in here and ask for money, I mean, you've got something in South Africa to raise money. It's called Back a Buddy. Use it. Use it. Yes, Arctic, I remember it all too well too. And it's not just that. I've had people one person who works for AfriForum now, who didn't have a following and wanted a following, so came on my program and then mentioned their name and then never mentions me, never comes to my channel. And then that person got a job and is doing well now and never hear from them again. They used me to gain fame. Any program I've ever been on, I'm happy to go back on the program and I promote other people's content. But some people are just selfish and they use other people. I don't use other people. I help other people as best I can. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Arctic. You know exactly what I'm talking about. An evil person, and then the person departed. Yes, I've had Gareth Cliff on Raina. I've also been on Gareth Cliff many times. In fact, the night that this thing was announced, I ended my stream with 38,000 people when I had 5,000 people watching me. My selflessness to go to Gareth Cliff's program, I contacted him while I was live, said, hey, Gareth, do you want me to talk about this? And I'm live. He said, yeah. So I ended my program at 12:20 in the morning, went on to Gareth Cliff's show, was on there for about half an hour, left, came back, and had a much smaller audience. I did that to reach a bigger audience in South Africa. We had 5,000 people on live. I shut down my stream with 5,000 people after 3.5 hours. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? So, yeah, I've been on Gareth Cliff many times. He's been a guest on my program. I've interviewed him in person in Santon. So let me see. See if anything shows up. Getting to know Gareth Cliff 2 years ago. Here's one. Conversation with Gareth Cliff. That's another one. 400 views. Gareth Cliff to appear in the Chris Wyatt show. That's 3 years ago. Gareth's guest, Chris Wyatt. That's 2 years ago. Gareth Cliff on the Democratic Alliance. Chris Wyatt. I got him on here a lot of times. Yep. Let's take a look and see. So here you go. On my most recent trip to South Africa, I was a guest at Cliff Central, where Gareth Cliff has his studios in Gauteng. Of course, Gareth Cliff is a very well-known personality in radio and media in South Africa. We had a frank conversation in the Indaba Conversation with Chris, and this is what follows on Cliff Central. I hope you enjoy it, and this audio quality, which is a bit better than the live broadcast was. Thank you very much for your patronage, and my thanks to Gareth Cliff, both for interviewing me and for being my guest. Hey everybody, welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. This is Colonel Chris Wyatt here in Johannesburg with none other than Gareth Cliff. Gareth, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Very good.
We just had a conversation on his program. That was Lekka. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
It was good. It was very, very good. So you've got a lot to say about a lot of things. That's why it's nice to talk to you.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Some people don't like that.
Those are exactly the people that we don't like.
You know, they say that when you're taking flak, it means you're over the target.
That's probably right, both in military terms and in terms of saying what you've got to say, right?
Exactly. So Gareth, I have viewers all across the world. About half my audience is South African, and I think pretty much everybody in South Africa has heard of you, knows about you from your days in radio and what you do now. But a lot of people around the world don't know about you. Did you first come to prominence in the media sphere with 702? Is that where you started?
I started doing commercial radio at 702. I was already on campus radio before that.
I did that too, campus radio.
Yeah, and got fired there.
Well, I didn't get fired.
I was doing outrageous stuff, and it was.
Rumor has it. I was going to ask about that.
I should have got fired. I was for the right reasons. Then I did a show on.
So that was my interview with Gareth at his studio. He's in a new studio now, so that was one time. Then here's another one. Oh, okay, that's the same one, I guess. Yeah, okay, see, the sound is very poor quality. I improved the sound because I recorded it when I got home. So that was the same interview, sorry. Okay, so here's me on Gareth's program, Gareth's guest. Okay. So I think a lot of Americans are tired of it.
And tax in general, do you think it'll ever get to a point where Americans will be as pissed off as South Africans are right now, where they're saying, we're going to find alternate ways of not paying or of paying our taxes to a different set of people so that we can find a way around this corruption and this outrageous spending?
Well, the tough thing is that for Americans, much of the taxation we have is baked in. You can't avoid it. So payroll taxes come out of your pay if you work for an employer, regardless of what you do.
Let's just be clear about something.
Sure.
Prior to somewhere in the beginning of the 1900s, tax was not a part of the American system.
Well, we had levies on foreign goods. We had excise taxes, things like that, but we did not have an income tax.
There was no income tax.
It took an amendment to the Constitution to allow that. One of the worst amendments in our country. Yeah, one of the worst amendments in our history. So that was in his studio. And yeah, so Gareth is on my program. Here's another one. This is the 2020 municipal elections. I got Gareth on here. So
the DA has in the past not covered itself in glory either, that their campaigns have been tainted with all kinds of stupidity. They themselves were very pro-lockdown for a very long time. They've just come out this week against lockdowns, which I think is going to be a major vote swinger towards them, because people are absolutely, in Afrikaans we say gat vol. They're sick and tired of being run into the ground by these outrageous lockdown regulations, which frankly people like me have not paid any attention to. Neither have people in the township.
So there you go. So that's Gareth Cliff has been on my program many times. I've been on his program. Yep. Yep. Many times. So there you go. All right. So, yep. Where are we at here? Back to where I was at. Okay, 380 people currently here. Is anyone familiar with Wise Bank? Why is everybody asking about Wise Bank all of a sudden? What's that all about? That's been 2 days now. That's been coming up repeatedly. ANC's liberation struggle is nothing more than a scam. Yeah, you're right. Well, everybody's been scam buster, not just white folks. Love the ZZ Top look. Good morning, Nanders. Hey, Karen Bops. What's going on? Gareth has really turned out to be a great voice challenging the narrative. He has really been challenging the narrative. Yeah, I get along well with him, as far as I know. Yeah, he asked me to come back on the program soon, and it was supposed to be this week, but I haven't heard back. I don't think I have. Let me see. Let me see if I've heard back, and maybe I missed the message. Let me see from his producer. Is it this one here? Yep, I've heard nothing. So, yep, no, nothing from. So let me see if Gareth has written to me. Okay. Nope. So yeah, they're supposed to get in touch with me, but I haven't heard from them. Yep. So yeah, they wanted me to come on the program, but I haven't heard back from them. So can't do it unless I hear back from them. I think it's a good idea, except that their people don't get hired and don't see other options. Okay. Awesome for my son. He's 3.5. What's awesome for him, Tomahawk? Oh, passport day. Okay. Yes, Peter O'Connor. China has used elements of free capital markets, but it's also used intellectual property theft, copyright theft, trademark violations, artificial tariffs, barriers to protect their economy and keep goods out of their economy, help them grow. So they've not exactly been a good, benign player, but yes, they've used elements of free market capitalism to lift 600,000 people out of abject poverty. True story. Barbara likes it better than the long beard. Good morning, GB. What's going on? Way to stop SR-71 from dumping its fuel because of tank expansion. I have an idea. You dump it on the ANC? Well, it doesn't dump the fuel. It leaks until it gets up and the pressure, the tanks expand and seal. It's pretty amazing aircraft. Pretty amazing. Yep. So whoever asked me if I've ever interviewed Gareth, I should have him on. Well, I do have him on. Yep. Oh, it was Raina. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've had him on. You named somebody, I've probably had him on here, folks. I think a lot of people like that. I mean, 412 views. I had an interview with Gareth Cliff at 412 views. And I'm sitting here quibbling about a video on his 5,000 views now because we're getting 100,000 views regular on this channel. In fact, let me take a look at the channel and let you guys get an update here. We have 73,469 subscribers, but it's really slowed down the last 2 days because my content's been sporadic the last day or two. So let me take a look at the stats here. So we grew a lot there last week, and then we've leveled off. So we started yesterday at 73,336. So I've only gained 136. That's the lowest number of subscribers added in a day since early January. That's kind of a drag. But the good news, it means I don't have to shave my beard, because people want me to shave my beard at 100,000. That means I'm not going to get to 100,000. Anyway, yeah, so we had 400-some thousand views in one day, 428,000 views in one day. Now, in the past 2 days, we had just 216,000. But just 216,000, in December, I was getting 1,000 views per day, so that'll work. Anyway, let me take a look at the content here and give you an idea. So all of our, in the last 28 days, we have 4.4 million views. That's incredible. That's more than any of your favorite South African programs. I'm not boasting. I'm just stating a fact. I'm not going to say who, but I keep track of the views on channels, and that's more than any of them in the past 20 days. And that's because of you guys, not because of me. Well, maybe because of the content I produce, but my top 10 videos all time now have at least 100,000 views. And my best performing video now was from April 4th. So that's just a week old and has 188,000 views. If that thing can continue, I can get my first 200,000 view video, which would be cool. Well, wait till I shave my beard off and I shorten my hair. I'll look a lot younger. Thea says, there are plenty of businesses like mine that would hire folks. If you're not fussy and would do whatever it takes, hardworking, you'll find work. Pride is definitely the enemy of a lot of people in South Africa. It really is. And I don't mean to insult people, but I know people who just, they aren't willing to do certain things. Tonight, we had an election for our veterans organization. I was reelected the commander. I didn't ask for it, but reelected the commander of the organization. And one of our officers was running for reelection and withdrew. And that person just took a new job. They have to drive 60 kilometers every day to the job. And they were a supervisor and got laid off a few months ago. But the person is taking the job because he's been unemployed for 3 months. And it's the best job he could find that's in his career field. But he's taking the job. He's not letting his pride get in the way. He used to be a supervisor. Now he's just going to be another Joe Schmo with someone else telling him what to do. It'd be a long way to go to catch Ronaldo with subscribers, Alan. Yep. Long way to go. John B. Wells gave you a shout out again tonight. Wow, that's incredible, What the Fluff. But they haven't asked me to come on. What's going on with that? I usually get asked to come on their program. I didn't see the 702 thing with Herman Shaw, but that's interesting. I've heard about it. Colin Serpentine mentioned last night that he wants to contact you to get your opinion on something. Well, Darlene Brickmerk writes to me all the time on WhatsApp, so I look and see if he sent me something. Let me see. He hasn't written to me since March 31st, but he does write to me frequently, so I don't know. Maybe he's going to write to me. Well, the day I shave my beard, or at least have it trimmed up, I plan on live streaming it. I'll tell you what, if between now and the end of May, if we get to 100,000, we'll see. When will sanctioned bill see Congress? Well, it should be in Congress now, going to committee, but I don't know the status of that. I don't have any contacts in the House of Representatives. Centurion's Chile, okay. Pick America's blueberries for my stage 4 cancer body just to be safe, says Max. Max, I'm so sorry to hear you've got that. My mom had cancer, too. Send out a Salvation Army for homeless ANC caters. Oh, my goodness. Your husband is epileptic. Oh, that's a tough break. No, you look 49. Arctic. Oh, Arctic. What does Arctic want now? Arctic is being way too nice. Oh, Tony, man, I still got a sore muscle in my left calf from the backside. I took a nap a few days back. I came back from work college. I was tired, laid down, did some reading, which helped me fall asleep pretty quickly. And I woke up and I moved my leg and it just cramped up. Oh my gosh, it feels like the muscle's just going to tear. Still sore. Better stay hidden in Botswana. Oh, tumor removed from his bladder. I didn't know that. Xavier's back. Got the link of the vid, monkey on the car for you. Put it on. Okay, thanks. Okay. Yeah, it is. And it feels like the muscle's going to tear and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. I understand that's a lack of potassium. I don't know if that's true, but people say potassium. Yeah, well, Epsom salts don't help me when I'm on the couch, Liz. I can't get up. I guess you mean aftercare. Yeah. There you go. Test your potassium levels. Yeah, exactly, Xavier. It's potassium. But I don't eat bananas, man. I can't stand bananas. I think they're disgusting. So there you guys know. I don't eat onions. I don't eat bananas. And I don't like mushrooms. I don't like Brussels sprouts either. And my breibrukjes better not have onions on them. It's a breibrukjes. Yeah. Yeah, what the fluff. I'm glad that John B. Wells mentioned me. That's pretty cool. But I don't really have time to go on John B. Wells right now. I've been asked on several programs to appear this week, and I just don't have time. Dr. Berg says, try apple cider vinegar. Okay. Plantains. I do eat plantains, Gerard. Yeah, but we don't have plantains around here. Potassium is slightly radioactive. Well, so am I. I was in the Alps during Chernobyl. I glow at night. Social media users troll President Ramaphosa after he claimed that John. Yeah, that thing. I'm sure they did. Peppermint, okay. $1 million question. It might cost you subscribers, though. Oh, no, Karen. Hendo is going to freak out if he's still here. We'll find out if Hendo's still in the chat. I'll just say one thing. Hawaiian pizza is the best. It's the absolute best. Love it. I love it. Love it. Pineapples and ham. Canadian bacon is the moneymaker. Qualified media and arbitrary, but I've been told no space for whites, so I have to do roofing and building survive. And see, Peter, and you don't let your pride keep you from doing it. But some people, they do. I mean, I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying a statement of fact. So let's see. Where are we at here? Okay, yeah. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 11 videos now over 100,000. Cool. Cool beans. Yep. And this one here was relatively recent. April. Oh no, it's March. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So exciting stuff here. And on the channel all time here, let's take a look at that. We now have lifetime of this channel. 13.8 million views. We had 3.4 million views in mid-January. How do you survive on army food? Well, Sassenach, it's not always easy, but I was always rail thin, so that might explain why. Meals ready to eat, I was okay with those. I ate plenty of those over the years. Used to take, pogie bait. We'd take some beef jerky because we didn't have biltong. Beef jerky, chocolate, things like that with us to the field to survive. It depends. I mean, when I was in Saudi Arabia in the advance party for the Gulf War, arriving out in the Tactical Assembly Area Henry, out east of King Khalid Military City in the middle of what looked like Mars, completely flat, barrenless, featureless, vegetationless terrain. I felt like I was on the surface of Mars with red soil. It really did look like it. We had tea rations, and tea rations were every day we had lasagna and we had blueberry cake. That's what mixed lasagna, blueberry cake. Not very appealing, but that's what we had, and that's our meal. And I grew to love that stuff. So yeah, no, you get by. You get by. Banana split. I don't like banana splits. Agree with you. Most of your dislikes, but pizza with pineapple is just wrong. No, Reg, it's just right. It's absolutely perfect. It's perfect. You got the sweet, you got the sour. It mixes just right. It is perfect. What veggies can you plant there? Oh, anything, Jan. You can grow anything here. Anything. Peas, carrots, onions, tomatoes, which is really a fruit, not a vegetable. We consider vegetable, but it's a fruit. You can go grapes here. You can go raspberries, blueberries, apples, pears, oranges, whatever you want here. It all grows here. Well, oranges don't survive the winter, so that doesn't work so well. There you go. What the fluff. Hawaiian pizza, good stuff, man. I was disappointing my mother-in-law because I didn't like baking. I enjoyed milling machine and getting dirty. Ah, Liz, cool. I'll invite the Colonel if you're having onion soup with a side of Brussels sprouts, banana pudding, and bribe cookies. Exactly, Chantel. Well, you can invite me. I just won't eat anything. Hey, Beth Fraser, where have you been? Oh, I love curry. Yeah, good stuff. J.B. Wells is praising how much content and great info you've been putting out there. And I've noticed more folks like yourself, What the Fluff, coming over from there. So thanks. Tell people to come check me out, man, because we talk about the U.S. here, too. It's not just South Africa. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, John B. Wells. I love that guy's voice. John B. Wells. John B. Wells. The Lexington man, folks. You guys know the Lexington man is, right? Back in the day, yep. And he's married to a shark girl. That's right. Brandy Wells, yep. All right. Okay. All right, guys, it is 1:16 in the morning. And how are we doing over here? Let me check on something. Okay. House has voted to pass the SAVE Act requiring proof. Yes, I saw that, but I'm not really sure how that plays out because the federal government doesn't dictate elections. So I'm not sure how they do it unless it means you can't get money from the federal government. Yep. So we're only at 390 likes. What's going on with that, man? The average view time is 15 minutes and 30 seconds. I mean, people are hanging around. Any change to the Trump's tariffs numbers this morning? Yeah, he jumped the Chinese one to 145. From 125 to 145 this morning. So now the Chinese have 145% tariff. I'll make sure you eat good. It's a South African thing. Thank you, Chantel. Slow mag is very good, even for strained muscles. Okay. Smoke Texan and cough like a cowboy. Hey, Shawnee, you taking off? Yes, Loretta, it'd be great to get more people on here. That's the one. Lexington, yep. Lexington, that's the one. Do you collect Marine coins? Well, there's no such thing as a Marine coin. You're talking about challenge coins? That's an Army invention, and I've got a ton of them. I have them actually for merit. I earned them for having done something or accomplishments. When they first came out in the early 1980s, they were given out for accomplishment, for merit, in lieu of actual awards. So I had the one from Finnish Army here. Here it is. Oh, that's not it. This isn't it, but this is one I was given by the Deputy Commander of the Allied Land Command, who was an Italian officer, gave me this for the course I ran last year. So you got the NATO symbol on there. I also got one from the Commander of the Finnish Army. That's a treasure. You never see this. Anyway, but hey, let me show off my medal. So only like 18 people have ever been awarded this by the government of Liberia. It's the Distinguished Service Order Gold from the Ministry of Defense. And I received this award for rebuilding the Armed Forces of Liberia. This finally came to me about 15 years after I rebuilt the Army just a year ago. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Tonic water, okay. I've showed them before, Beverly. Yeah, I'll have to do that sometime, but it's not going to happen soon. Maybe we'll do it down the road. Okay, cool beans. All right, guys, time for me to wrap up. Thanks for hitting the like button. I need to get some rest. What coin did Mike Pence get for selling Trump out on January 6th? Mike Pence did sell Donald Trump out. Mike Pence has sold him out since then, but on January 6th, Mike Pence simply fulfilled his role under the Constitution. He didn't sell Trump out. He had no ability to change the outcome of that, and people think he did, don't understand the Constitution, have never read it. So that's just a statement of fact. Oh, damn, my phone is at 46%. That's not good. I should have charged it earlier. What the heck was I thinking? Okay. Anyway, yeah, so, by the way, yeah, so tomorrow's a busy day again. My last day, as someone mentioned earlier, for the War College this time around. So pray for Canada if you're praying. Yeah, no, we are praying for Canada. Let's hope the Conservatives win. Let's hope the Conservatives win. Y'all have a good day. I'll catch you later on. Hopefully I'll be well rested. Today I was having a hard time. I was drifting off several times, including in that video when I edited. I left that cough and that yawn in there. Go watch that video, okay? Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here. Go enjoy your Breibrookies. It's Friday. Morning, Brits. How's it going? I heard that Andre Pollard is coming, but Jan Serfontein coming back to Bulls. I might just become a Blue Bull fan. I might just become a Blue Bull fan if Jan Serfontein is coming back. That is incredible news. I heard the rumor, but if Jan Serfontein is coming back, you might get me in that corner. I'm a huge Jan Serfontein fan. He's been so wrongly done by the Springboks. He should have had 100+ caps. Jan Serfontein is an incredible player. Yep. So excited. So excited. Yeah. I'd love to see him in a Stormers outfit, but not going to happen. Cheers, everybody. Have a good one.